Hey guys! So today's video is going to be a little bit different than the videos I usually make. I just wanted to take some time and talk to you guys about something that I feel is very important and something that I don't think gets talked about enough. People, especially us as teenagers, we have a lot of expectations put on us by our parents and our friends and teachers and just society in general, and I think that makes it really hard to be happy with who you are, especially at a time in your life when you're a teenager where you're still discovering who you are and who you want to be and what you want to do. It can be really hard to accept yourself and be happy with, who you are. So today I just want to take a little bit of time to talk to you guys about how to love yourself. I know when you see things about loving yourself, or if someone says, you've just got to love yourself, it sounds really cliche and really cheesy. It's not as easy as it seems. But there are some, ways that you can learn to love yourself. Loving myself has always been a little bit of a struggle for me. It used to be a really big struggle when I was in middle school, around 6th grade. Especially then, first of all, I was not happy with the way I looked. I had really short hair and glasses and giant gap between my front teeth. I was really smart, really good at school, but I didn't have a ton of friends. I didn't really have much of a social life. And it kind of stayed that way throughout the rest of middle school. And I don't know, I tried not to let it get to me too much, and it didn't. It wasn't too bad. But I would always see my friends who always had, a boyfriend. I never had a boyfriend. And everyone else seemed to, everyone else would go hang out with their friends on the weekends, and I would stay home. And, it was just that little voice in the back of my head that was saying, what's not right? Like, what do I need to fix? There's obviously something wrong with me. And looking back on it, there wasn't anything wrong with me. I mean, I was shy. I didn't really put myself out there, so it was difficult for me to make friends because I wouldn't go up to people and say hi or start a conversation. So then when I got to high school, things changed a little bit, kind of for the worst. Freshman year, I developed pretty severe anxiety. I had to learn how to deal with both panic disorder, so I had panic attacks a lot, and social anxiety, which also made it very difficult for me to talk to people and make friends. As I went through high school, I wasn't as good at school as I was in middle school, so I kind of lost that aspect of feeling like I was good at something. And I did get a couple more friends, lost most of the friends I had in middle school, but I didn't feel good about myself. I always, thought, I was always insecure about my height. I was too tall. I wasn't skinny enough, I wasn't pretty enough, and I also think a lot of that, as silly as it sounds, I think a lot of that stemmed from watching all my friends around me have social lives and have lots of friends and have boyfriends, and I didn't have a lot of that. I just didn't like who I was, and I don't want anyone else to feel that way, and I know a lot of people do feel that way, so that's what I want to help with. So the first thing I need to say is that the first thing you need to do before you can start to love yourself is you need to accept yourself. Whoever you are, whatever it is about you, whether it's something physical like your height, or whether it's something like, something you have like anxiety, or your sexual orientation, or the way you think about things that may be different than the way other people think about things. You need to accept that, because that is who you are, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever. That is who you are, and that is what makes you you. That's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you different from everyone else. And so before you can go any further, you need to be able to accept yourself for who you are and say, this is who I am, and I'm going to be okay with that. You need to surround yourself with people who are only going to bring you up, not tear you down. I've had to distance myself from friends because they were having a negative impact on how I felt about myself, and I didn't want that in my life. I was trying to make myself feel good about who I was, and they were holding me back a little bit from that. So, surround yourself with positive people who are just going to support you and love you for who you are. Now, that being said, although you should, have friends that support you and love you and everything, when it comes down to it, you shouldn't care what anyone else thinks about you, because at the end of the day, you're the only person who's really there. I know that might sound a little harsh, but when it comes down to it, you're the only person you really truly have. My favorite quote in the entire world is, be your own hero. You have to be there for yourself. Because if you can't rely on yourself, then who can you rely on? Okay, this next part can get a little bit tricky and complicated, but just hear me out here. Now, you're perfect just the way you are. You don't have to change anything, but there might be some things that you want to improve a little. Like, if you're shy, maybe try, talking to more people. Something like that. Like, don't try to make yourself a completely different person, but you can always improve. You can always make little adjustments for the better. I finally started to go outside my comfort zone a little bit and talk to people and make new friends, and now I go and I hang out with friends and I go to parties, and I love it. I love being around people, and I love, talking to people. I still get anxiety over talking to new people or talking to people I don't know. But I'm working through it, and I am much happier with myself now than I have ever been. I used to get really nervous around boys, and I would, I'd be so upset because all my friends had boyfriends, but I was too afraid of rejection to go talk to one. And which leads me to another point, that don't ever think that you need a girlfriend or a boyfriend to feel good about yourself, because you don't. I promise you that. I had an experience where I met someone and I thought they made me feel so good about myself, and I was so happy, and, you know, they made me feel awesome, and then they left. You know, and it made me feel awful. I couldn't stop thinking, well, I thought everything was fine, like, what's wrong with me? What did I do wrong to make them want to walk away? But I had to accept it wasn't my fault at all. It was a choice that they made, and it was their loss. And so you just need to, the right people will come into your life. You know, you have to open yourself up and be willing to let people in. It took me forever to do that, but I did, and now I have amazing friends who support me in everything I do, and I have the most amazing boyfriend in the entire world who I know loves me, you know, unconditionally. And it's a great feeling, and I am happier than I have ever been with who I am. And I want everyone else to be able to feel that too. So for anyone out there who's struggling with loving yourself, it will get better. As much as you probably hear that all the time, because everyone used to tell me that and I didn't believe them. But it does get better. I promise. You just need to be open to it. You need to let it happen. If you want it to happen, it's not gonna happen unless you let it. So just, you know, open up, you know, accept yourself, put yourself out there, and just do what makes you happy. Don't let anyone else tell you how to live your life, or what to do, or who to be, because you are the only person that can make that decision, because you are the only person living your life. So, I mean, that's all I want you guys to take away from this video. If you like these kind of videos, I can make more. If you guys have suggestions for what topics to make them on, because I really do like making these videos because I love helping people more than anything else. So if you guys ever need anything, you can always come talk to me. You know, you guys can message me on here, or you can DM me on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. I am always willing to talk to you guys about anything you need. But other than that, that is it for this week's video. So, as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All my social media will be down in the description box as usual. And other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Bye!